We don't discriminate around here. This Holly Springs, Mississippi, where everybody's somebody. We all get along around here. My dad opened his shop up back in probably 68. It's therapeutic. To me, it's like shooting basketball. Regardless of what I do all day long, we can come in here. I got my man Tom Cat in the chair. We can talk about anything.
You know, he might be deep into sports, so if you're deep into sports, we're going to talk about this.
How old were you when you first got come here?
About 12 years old.
How old are you now?
72. Oh, yeah, we have fun, sit around, tell a true joke, might lie a little bit.
Like I said, we started in the community right here, just blue-collar workers in a blue-collar town.
My father started his barbershop business, Piggy's Barbershop, right here in this very building in 1960. And we moved in 1975 on 115 Memphis Street. To me, it's good fellowship. Like they say, your barber and your bartender is your therapist.
We call it the country club. It's free.
It's blending in with my hairstyle. See the top of my head, don't you?
Hey, man,
You can come in here, sit around, vent, and when it's over, you can leave out hopefully feeling like a new person and get a haircut at the same time.
Hey, how you doing, ma'am? You had 2 6 bones?
For nearly 5 decades,
Looking good?
a North Memphis restaurant has been bringing barbecue and smiles to visitors near and far.
They have the best flavor and absolutely love the ribs. Can't beat them.
Man, tender, melt in your mouth. This is worth the trip from Louisiana.
You had a 2 bone?
Yes.
Cozy Corner has been cooking up ribs, wings, and more here on North Parkway for 45 years.
You got it, brother.
At the helm and heart of the pits, one family. With their history-making matriarch.
The beginning of Cozy Corner. Oh my goodness. How long has it been?
Who sat down with me to talk about how legendary the restaurant has become since it opened in August of 1977.
Wow, that's been a long time.
So what would you say has been the secret to your success?
My husband started it. My husband was an awesome cook, and I'm good, but not nearly as good as he was. I'm telling you, it blew my mind.
Desiree Robinson co-founded the restaurant with her late husband, Raymond, who she wholeheartedly credits for not only their flavorful award-winning recipes, but the long-standing relationship with their customers.
He never met a person that didn't fall in love with him. I mean, children. He was the most likable person I have ever met in my life, and he had the personality. Oh my goodness. Everybody loved him. People just liked him. And he liked people. You know, the way he was. But he built it for us.
Slab hot.
After Raymond passed in 2001, Desiree took over. And 2020, as pitmaster of Cozy Corner, she made history, becoming the first Black woman to be inducted into the Barbecue Hall of Fame.
I wish I could describe it to you. You just can't imagine how good it makes me feel. I'm blessed because I know it's all because of how it got started and maintained.
Maintained to this day with a lot of helping hands.
This is our bread and butter. Our customers really love these ribs, and they're looking pretty good.
Cozy Corner isn't just a mom and pop shop, but a family business. Now, 4 generations in.
There's something to be said for a local family-owned business that has been operating for, over 40 years.
Our kids don't stay home for nap time when they're coming up. The little kids, they go to the Cozy Corner every day when we go to the back and have their nap, come out and socialize with the customers. Everybody greets. If you work there, you better greet somebody if they come through that door.
And at 85 years old, that mantra goes for Desiree as well.
Doing great. Good to see y'all.
Who customers from time to time can still find front and center, saying hello with a big smile.
Wow. What a blessing. Because I want them to know that they are at home. I want them to know that they are welcome, and I want them to know that I want them to come back. So they're going to eat good and they're going to be treated right.
The food is always good. The ribs are very good, and I love their wings.
It's a tradition that keeps customers coming back.
Hey, how you doing, ma'am? Had a slab?
Just one key part of this North Memphis restaurant's reputation.
I've been coming here for 22 years. I know the family, been here with a good family, and the food is great. Best ribs between Memphis, Nashville, St. Louis, and Kansas City.
It's listed on one of the top 10 barbecue restaurants in Memphis, and I believe it. Well worth the trip.
In North Memphis,
Oh my goodness.
Carolyn Serta, Fox 13 News.
Alone, walking after dark. One of the times a woman can be caught off guard and attacked. Something like the stun gun can stop a deadly situation.
Pull it back, hold it, release it.
More and more people are turning to guns for protection.
Pull it and hold it.
And self-defense.
Pull it, hold it, release it.
We're not living in grandpa and grandma times anymore. We absolutely have to be, not only for ourselves, but for our family, be in a frame of mind to where if something happened, we have the proper training to try to protect ourselves.
Benny Cobb, a former captain with the Shelby County Sheriff's Office, tells me he's seen an increase in the number of women taking his Tennessee handgun carry permit class.
And one of the ways that you do that is you lock the slide back.
Women are in some situations considered not to be as strong as men. So we want women to understand that you can defend yourself. Pick the gun up, point it at the target, 2 hands.
69-year-old Cheryl Henderson says she feels comfortable using a gun if she had to.
I shop a lot. I have a catering service. I deliver a lot. I'm out on the street a lot, and often I'm by myself.
But 21-year-old Kenesha Pine isn't as comfortable holding one.
I was nervous. I wasn't comfortable. I did it though, but I was nervous. I was just nervous.
This is why Cobb integrates less than lethal weapon training into some of his handgun carry permit classes. But just how practical are they? I joined the group of women in the class and put a can of pepper spray, stun gun, baton, and Kubaton keychain to the test. First, we tried the stun gun.
Stun. There you go.
This weapon can cost anywhere from $10 to $15. Next was a can of pepper spray. You can buy a small bottle from a retail store for as little as $5.
You absolutely have to spray them in the face. You want to spray them in the eyes, nose, and mouth. It won't work if you're spraying it in their clothes.
You're going to hit anything that's in sight.
Henderson tested the collapsible baton. This metal device can be used as a striking tool.
The one particular that I like is the wand, because I carry a metal bat, and it's kind of heavy. The wand is light and it's still sturdy. I didn't even know anything about that.
Last was the Kubaton keychain. Almost the size of a pin, this weapon can also be used to strike.
Stop!
Like most gadgets, we discovered these less than lethal weapons do come with limitations. A victim must be close to the attacker for any of the devices to work.
I want a gun because I'm too slow. I can't run from anybody. You know, they may be faster than me, but they won't be faster than a bullet.
Get on target.
So whether a woman chooses to use a gun, their hands, or a less than lethal weapon,
Stun.
Cobb says proper training and self-awareness are key.
So you want to make sure you have a strong sense of situational awareness. Put your phone down, be aware of what's going on around you.
Now, it's important to note all the tools that we went through are used for self-defense. If used offensively, it can be considered a crime. I found the class to be extremely helpful. I like learning about the stun gun, the pepper spray. They're lightweight, can fit in a purse, or maybe even your pocket. Now, Cobb says for these less than lethal weapons, you don't need a license to use many of them, but he says training is important. He says a lot of times people purchase these weapons and they don't know how to properly use them. So whether you choose to use a gun or maybe even these less than lethal tactics, you need that training. And we have links to those courses on our website, fox13memphis.com. In Memphis, Lauren Coleman, Fox 13 News.
An early morning at Steve's Tire and Auto.
The calipers will get real rusty.
The car lift rises. And service advisor Brian Murphy is examining this minivan for something he sees often.
How often do you see cars come in that are rusted or corroded?
We typically see
Probably 1 to 2 a week.
And in all sorts of conditions. You're saying you've seen cars come in so bad, you're surprised they're actually not falling apart.
Sometimes we're scared to actually lift one up, and when we see it's that bad, it's because you don't know if the lift's going to go through the body of the car.
Tens of thousands of them exist, perhaps, on roads across the nation, according to experts. Vehicles badly rusted or corroded from enduring winters in states known for brutal cold, a collection of mostly Midwest and Northeastern states known as the Salt Belt, where roads are heavily salted to control snow and ice, causing dangerous corrosion.
Any brake lines, any connections, you'll see a lot of these connectors here will rust.
To key parts of the car in what is known as the undercarriage.
And when those cars move from the Salt Belt states to other states that don't use that mixture, like Tennessee, then can cause serious safety issues for those consumers if they're unaware.
Data given to us by Carfax, pulled from more than 120,000 sources, shows 1 out of every 3 cars being sold at Tennessee dealerships as of August come from states in the Salt Belt. In Arkansas, that number drops to 1 in every 4 for sale. In Mississippi, it's 1 in every 5. All mostly from Michigan, New York, Missouri, and Virginia.
What's wrong with the rust on these cars?
We spoke with Carfax spokesman Christopher Basso.
It rusts out some of those key parts of the vehicle, the brakes, the suspension, the exhaust. Dealers and private sellers may or may not be aware.
Reason, he says, for what his company does.
You know, checking the vehicle history through a company like Carfax is so valuable, so you can understand where those vehicles originated from.
At Steve's Tire and Auto, how can people make sure that they're not falling victim to this? What should people look out for? An additional mechanic's inspection is recommended in order to catch what you may not see.
I have seen here lately cars that have come in for inspections that customers are potentially going to buy from a dealership or an individual, and they have painted the underlining of it, trying to hide some of that rust.
Due diligence that could save your hard-earned money.
It's about like 10 gunshots. Something came from like a powerful rifle or something, you know. It was real loud. Pow, 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 pow.
This man, who doesn't want to reveal his name because of fear of retaliation, says he jumped down on the floor in his home after hearing several gunshots Thursday morning.
You know, I just laid back down, and so I guess it had to be like an hour ago. When I got up and came out, I seen all these police cars down here.
Memphis police are working to learn what led to 2 deaths after the victims were shot before crashing their car near Jackson and Springdale. The victims were rushed to Regional 1 Hospital, where they later died. Officers surrounded this car on Jackson, where the back of the window is completely gone and the front of the car is crushed.
This is what the world is coming to now, you know. You have to come outside and fear your life every day. I mean, simply driving down the street.
Police say they believe the victims were the targets of the shooting, and this doesn't appear to be a random act. Officers investigated a second crime scene on Jackson near Hollywood, not far from the intersection where this car crashed. Neighbors say this is the area where they heard the gunshots before the crash happened.
It's very frustrating. It makes you concerned about what's going on in your neighborhood and what's going on with the young people in this world today.
I love what I do, man. I love making people look good.
Keith Matthews was on a mission today, a mission of giving.
Even though we're doing it for a good cause, I'm still gonna act like I'm getting paid.
Keith is one of the dozens of volunteers who gave their time and their talents at the Cook Convention Center. Haircuts, eye exams, some of the basics everyone needs, but not everyone gets.
We believe housing is a basic human right and that no person should live on the street.
The number of people living on the streets of Memphis has been on a steady decline. According to the Community Alliance for the Homeless, which sponsored today's event, the unsheltered population of Memphis has decreased by about 75% since 2012. But there are still too many who need days like today just to get by. And as the winter approaches, the Community Alliance has its own needs, so it can better serve the unsheltered.
We need more emergency shelters for females, families with children, just overall. We need more shelters. And of course, we're still accessing our community resources for housing opportunities.
There were a lot of smiles today.
And I got my cat right here looking like new money. Smile for the camera, baby.